We often claim to want happiness, yet our actions suggest we are actively rejecting it. We find ourselves stuck in destructive patterns, swiping away the very love and fulfillment we say we are looking for. This state is called negative intentionality. It isn't a buried trauma or a repressed memory. It is a conscious attitude of refusal that we simply choose to ignore. It is a deliberate looking away from our own hostility. At its core, this is a no to life itself. It is a hidden part of the psyche that wants to hate, to be spiteful, and to withhold, even when that spite causes us nothing but suffering and deprivation. Even when this negation occupies only a tiny sliver of our consciousness, it exerts a heavy pull. Like a dense core at the center of a sphere, it distorts our entire life trajectory because it remains unrecognized. Misery is rarely an accident of circumstance. It is more often a secret active rebellion against the world. If this attitude causes so much pain, why is it so difficult to drop? We struggle because we mistake our negativity for our identity. We have spent so long withholding that we can no longer tell where the spite ends and the self begins. To the ego, admitting we are unable to change feels like a total loss of power. To avoid that discomfort, we tell ourselves a different story. I don't want to change. We become fused to this protective shell. We treat our negativity as a survival mechanism, which makes letting it go feel like self-annihilation. We fear that if we stop withholding, we will cease to exist. You cannot shed a skin you still believe is your own. Transformation remains impossible as long as we mistake this armor for our true self. Dismantling this structure doesn't happen all at once. It starts by looking at the little, unimportant thoughts we have every day, the ones we usually take for granted. Casual grievances and petty flashes of anger are the hinges of the shell. A feeling of entitlement hidden behind a small annoyance is a choice to stay in a state of negation. These daily reactions are the hidden anchors of the ego. This creates a divide. Intellectually, you may know your anger is irrational, but emotionally, you still feel right about it. You feel justified in your hostility. The work is to bring these childish thoughts into the light. You have to force a dialogue between your mature intelligence and the part of you that is still lashing out. Real change begins when we stop treating our petty grievances as facts and start seeing them as the glue holding our destructive identity together. Identifying a destructive feeling isn't enough. Repeating "I am angry" or "I am spiteful" doesn't change the underlying intent. You have to follow the threads to the end. You have to see exactly how these attitudes twist the truth and why the demands you're making on the world are unfair. Every choice to withhold comes with a bill. On one side of the scale is your spite. On the other is everything you sacrifice to keep it, your joy, your peace, and your self-esteem. When the cost of your armor becomes clear, letting it go is no longer an act of will. It becomes a matter of survival. Staying open requires a daily commitment to honesty. It means reviewing your reactions and staying committed to the truth, even when the truth is unflattering. Thoughts are creative forces. If you don't deliberately direct them toward constructive reactions, they will default to the old destructive patterns of the past. The final step is a choice to trust. Once the armor is removed, you have to decide to believe that fulfillment and peace are actually possible. In that moment of trust, the fear of self-annihilation vanishes. You realize that the part of you that was dying was only the shell that was keeping you trapped. By shedding the intent to withhold, the world stops looking like a battlefield. You discover that when you stop fighting life, you find a universe that is a rich and joyous place, and you are finally free to live in it.